Well, if you're asking yourself if it's really him, yeah, it's really me. And if you're wondering where I've been for the last, I don't know, since the 28th, that would be 7 days a week, where I've been for the last week. Um, I was down for the count, as it were. Today is Tuesday, just to be certain and to create a record. February 4th, 2020, Journal 276, and it is T plus 308 on our way to a first year anniversary of the transplant. Um, if you're wondering where I was, as well, you might have been, because I just disappeared. I was down for the count, literally. Started to get sick um, probably on the 29th. Uh, Wound up on Thursday, the 30th, out at the City of Hope, um, recognizing that there was something wrong, something going on, and wasn't sure exactly what it was, and actually neither were they. So they sent me home, and which seems to be a pattern lately. The last couple of times that I've um, gone out to Duarte with a problem, it appears that I am so aware of what's going on in my body that I've identified a problem before the pathology catches up, which is problematical because it's not exactly around the corner. However, having said that, and we did manage to go back out there on Friday the 31st, it's a hell of a way to spend your 50th wedding anniversary. Um, and we wound up in the ETC after I spiked 102.4 fever, which is, for someone in my situation, dangerous. And got so sick so quickly that wound up in the hospital as an inpatient uh, with them pumping all kinds of antibiotics and antivirals and antifungals into me as they try to get me stabilized. And obviously we're having this conversation, so they were successful. And got to the point finally where on Monday, last night, it was decided that there was nothing more they could do for me in the hospital than they would be able to do for me just being here at home, taking my normal meds and trying to regain my strength and stamina. And that's hard, and I think that's probably the subject for the blog today, other than the fact that I'm back amongst the living, which is a good thing. Um, and that is the hard work of um, achieving normal. And I know that may sound like an oxymoron in a way, but it's not. Um, Normal is difficult. Normal is hard. Normal is wonderful when you're able to achieve it and maintain it. Getting back to normal after um, you've been thwarted, after it's been taken from you because of an illness, especially a series of revolving illnesses that have not given you an opportunity to recover, it makes it more difficult. Um, Especially when the weather doesn't cooperate and there are other things that are contributing to making it difficult to find that pattern, to find that rhythm, um, so that you can eat, drink, walk, and that you can go ahead and get back to where you feel like you're on track. and, or at least you feel like you're where you should be, and it's not as easy as it would seem, and it's not as easy as it probably could or should be, especially when you're fighting, you know, the issues of being immunocompromised and GVHD and the other things that are associated with it, which are mildly annoying. I'm not trying to minimize them, but really they're inconvenient more than anything else. What happens is that you wind up exhausted. You wind up really more tired than you would normally otherwise be, and that makes getting anything accomplished more difficult. It's almost like trying to walk against the surf, or trying to slog your way through mud. It just makes the going tougher. And then if you're rock-headed like I am, all you do is you put your head down and you just try harder, which makes it even more exhausting. So the good news is the fever's broken. I've got pneumonia, but I'm being treated for it. Hopefully that'll take care of itself as I use the spirometer, the breathing apparatus that I have to help my lungs recover. And I do all the other things that they tell me I need to do in order to get better, which is, get up and walk around every hour on the hour, and all those other things. The difficult part is right now, especially during the flu season, a very active flu season, and especially during this coronavirus pandemic that seems to be developing all over the world, is, going out into a very germy world, and trying to figure out when it's appropriate to do that and when it's appropriate not to do that. So when I say the hard work of finding your way back to normal, I'm serious. It's not easy. And I guess the message for everyone is don't take your normal for granted. I mean, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and dial into where you are for a moment. Recognize how fortunate you are to be there, wherever that is, and whatever that entails. Because it's really possible for things not to be as good as they are. So, don't take them for granted. Appreciate and recognize how lucky you are. I know I do. Getting into a hospital like City of Hope was a blessing. Being treated there is a blessing. Being surrounded by such caring and competent, qualified people is a blessing. Having them help me get well enough to leave, recognizing that I'm a participant in my own wellness and that I have a responsibility to meet the doctors and the nurses more than halfway there. If I want to get well, I have to do what they tell me to do in order for it to work. There is not some magic wand that gets waved or pill that you take that's going to make you well again. There's work involved, and you need to do that in order to get better. So you have to do that work and be grateful that you're able to do it. That's my message for today. Hopefully there'll be a better message and a more optimistic message tomorrow, although that's a pretty optimistic message because I'm able to share it. And in the meantime, stay well and take care. We'll talk to you then.